Yo, what's up, guys? Right now, I want to talk about the Floyd Schofield Shakur Stevenson fight that was just announced February 22nd. I want to go in depth why I'm picking Floyd Schofield to win, right? There's a lot to uncover here, and let's just start from the beginning why Floyd Schofield is gonna do the Daniel Dubois, and Floyd Schofield is gonna probably knock out Shakur Stevenson. And if you don't think this is going to happen, then you're a casual, because if you look on my channel, I was trying to tell everybody Daniel Dubois is gonna beat up Anthony Joshua. Everybody's like, "Oh, you're crazy, you're crazy, you're crazy." Well, I'm telling you now, Floyd Schofield is gonna whack. Floyd Schofield is gonna whack Shakur Stevenson up. And let me just point out the obvious. When was the last time Shakur Stevenson had a good showing? When was the last time Shakur Stevenson had a good dominant fight? And it hasn't been at 135. He didn't dominate Artem. He didn't dominate Edwin De Los Santos. And the last fight, like Shakur Stevenson dominated, was like Conceição or like Jamel Herring, right? At 130, 126, Shakur Stevenson was dominating, but Shakur Stevenson has not had any good fights at 135. And especially now that we know Shakur Stevenson has like brittle hands, and we know Shakur Stevenson signed with Matchroom. And if you sign with Matchroom, Eddie don't care if you win or lose. If you sign with Matchroom, you gonna lose, right? And we know Shakur Stevenson signed with Matchroom. We know he's fighting on Riyadh season, and in Riyadh season ain't no robberies. Riyadh season, it's either you lose the fight or you win the fight. So Shakur Stevenson can't just dance around and run around the ring and expect the judges to be on his side, right? Just like Dmitry Bivol, dancing, running around the ring, right? And he lost to Arthur Beterbiev because Arthur Beterbiev kept bringing on the pressure. Arthur Beterbiev said, "Hey, stop running. I'm coming to fight." And Bivol couldn't deal with Beterbiev's power, right? So Bivol lost. And I see the same thing happening with Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson, after the Artem fight, he had to ice his hands. He just had surgery. He canceled the fight with Joe Cordina. Listen, I love Shakur Stevenson, but if you do the math, if you look at the math, bro, he shouldn't take this Floyd Schofield fight. Shakur Stevenson, he should fight a one-dimensional fighter who's not going to switch stances, who is not going to come with any power. He should fight a Joe Cordina rather than a Floyd Schofield. Because let me tell you, Floyd Schofield Sr., right? He was talking about how the only people who could beat Shakur Stevenson are him and Tank. And why did Floyd Schofield Sr. say that? It's because Shakur Stevenson, he fights out of a southpaw stance, right? Meaning that his left hand is back. Floyd Schofield, kid, he fights out of just an orthodox stance, right? So if Floyd Schofield and Shakur Stevenson are squaring up, right? And this is Shakur, he has his left hand back, right? If Shakur Stevenson jab, jab, punch, right? Lean straight back, right? Floyd Schofield, being the switch fighter he is, Floyd Schofield could switch, and now his left hand is forward. So now everything that Shakur Stevenson does, Shakur Stevenson's defense just got nullified. Because the science around boxing, right? Only Gervonta Davis or Floyd Schofield knows the science of how to like fight a southpaw. And I'm like, yo, did Floyd Schofield Sr. just say this? Because I'm a boxer. I'm like, it's science. Like it's like, if I'm a southpaw and I'm beating you by southpaw, how the hell you're gonna punch me, right? So if I'm southpaw and I'm fighting you like this, what's open? All over here, right? So if I'm fighting you like this, punch, 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 only a Gervonta or a Floyd Schofield knows, hey, the only way you're going to be able to hit me is if you're magically right here. The only way to beat the Philly shell is to go to the opposite side of the Philly shell, which is what Shakur Stevenson uses. He uses the Philly shell, right? So that's science. That's just straight boxing science. And Schofield Sr., let me tell you, Floyd Schofield Sr., that guy's a genius. I don't care what you think about Floyd Schofield Sr. He has to watch his words because, bro, that dude, he be putting out information. Yo, Floyd Schofield Sr., he be putting out gems, bro. Oh, man. Floyd Schofield Sr., that dude knows his damn boxing. And when he talks about the 5 styles of boxing, how Shakur is an outboxer, and what's the style to be an outboxer, probably a swarmer, probably a counterpuncher, right? You know? So, like, Shakur Stevenson, he has a style that could beat him. And if you look at the science, right? If Floyd Schofield Sr. already said, hey, Shakur Stevenson, he's going to use the Philly shell, and the best way to beat the Philly shell, and the only way to beat the Philly shell is to just hop on the other side. It's the switch, right? Gervonta Davis is a southpaw, and Gervonta Davis is smart enough to know, hey, if this guy's a southpaw and I'm a southpaw, all I got to do is switch, or all I got to do is, you know what I'm saying, like, use the science of boxing, the science of physics, and I'm going to be able to get close to this guy, right? Every person Shakur Stevenson has fought, they were never a switch fighter. So everything Shakur Stevenson ever did worked. Pull straight back, Philly shell, long arms, right? I'm telling you, the reason why people think Shakur is going to win and it's not even going to be a good fight is because Top Rank built up Shakur. Top Rank built Shakur up and fought him against fighters who weren't as versatile as Kid Austin. Kid Austin is extremely versatile. And Floyd Schofield Sr., that makes a lot of sense. Floyd Schofield Sr. is like, hey, you could like get injured fighting a bum and that could ruin your career, right? So, because Kid Austin, he fought that one guy who was headbutting him. He fought another guy who was like trying to tackle him. He fought this last guy, Rene G Iron Telez. That was a strong dude, and he did get hit behind the head and almost got put, right? And even though Floyd Schofield was winning the match, if you're fighting these boxers who just want your spot, they're gonna fight dirty, right? So I'm like, the way I'm seeing it, this is the perfect opportunity to fight Shakur Stevenson. And you know Shakur Stevenson, he's going to be training. And Shakur Stevenson, he might train so damn hard, he re-injured both of his hands, and he walks into the fight injured, just like he did. He walked into the De Los Santos fight injured, right? And then this is the perfect opportunity for Floyd Schofield to grab all of Shakur Stevenson belts. And I think it's genius. To fight Shakur Stevenson now before Shakur Stevenson gets found out by like a Joe Cordina or somebody else, right? It all makes sense. If you look at the science of boxing, it all makes sense. They're about the same height. Floyd Schofield's actually taller than Shakur Stevenson. Floyd Schofield's taller than Shakur Stevenson. He's stronger than Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson, with his brittle hands, even if Shakur Stevenson had power at 135 and 130, he don't got power like that out. You feel me? At 126 and 130, even though Shakur Stevenson had power, he don't got power at 135. Shakur Stevenson don't got power at 135. Not like a tank, but Floyd Schofield, he got power at 135, right? When Shakur Stevenson hopped straight back, Floyd Schofield's gonna switch. Boom! I done switched on your ass, right? You just look, bro. Just look at Southpaw versus Southpaw or Southpaw versus Orthodox, and just look at the science. Like, just look at the science. There's a certain way you could fight a Southpaw. There's a certain way you could fight an Orthodox. And Shakur Stevenson's a Southpaw, but we see Shakur Stevenson, he writes with his right hand. So Shakur Stevenson, his strong hand is his right hand, right? So Shakur Stevenson's going to be jabbing with his right hand, which is a strong hand. And he's going to have his left hand, which is his weak hand, blocking and doing the Philly shell. But Floyd Schofield knows that all I have to do is get on Shakur Stevenson's other side, right? So Shakur Stevenson, his weak hand is going to be the hand trying to block. And Floyd Schofield is just going to nullify Shakur Stevenson's jab, right? This probably is not making a lot of sense unless like you really like can see, unless you box, this is not going to make a lot of sense. But if you box and you see that, Shakur Stevenson, bro, he like, you feel me? There's nothing left. Like, Top Rank let him go. Eddie Hearn thinks he's gonna win. Eddie Hearn, like, bro, Eddie Hearn isn't like a Oscar De La Hoya, feel me? Or a Frank Warren. Frank Warren, no boxing. Oscar De La Hoya, no boxing. That's why Oscar De La Hoya is like, yo, Kid Austin, don't do it. But Eddie Hearn don't know boxing. So Eddie Hearn's like, hey, I got Shakur Stevenson and we're going to whoop on Kid Austin. But when Shakur Stevenson hits the deck, I'm going to be so happy. I'm going to make a lot of money when Shakur Stevenson hits the deck. Because it makes sense. It makes sense that Shakur Stevenson is going to get beat up by Floyd Schofield. And Floyd Schofield, what's the point of Floyd Schofield fighting all of these contenders, fighting all of these? Floyd Schofield, he's already number 2. He's already one of the mandatories for Tank. So why should Floyd Schofield fight all these boxers that be headbutting, trying to tackle, fighting dirty? Why would he risk his future fighting these cab drivers who would do anything to win when he could fight Shakur Stevenson with brittle hands, who only has 10 knockouts, and he could get a big bag, and he could fight in Saudi Arabia where you don't have ball, you feel me, where shit's equal. In Saudi Arabia, every fight is 50-50. You can't buy judges in Saudi Arabia. You can't buy judges for Riyadh season, right? So just like William Zepeda almost lost that fight against Tevin Farmer, right? Shakur Stevenson is going to get beat up by Floyd Schofield. And I'm putting money on it. It's not like I'm not putting money on it. I'm putting money on Shakur Stevenson getting beat up. And I can't wait for this fight. I'm one of the biggest Floyd Schofield fans. And I believe what his father is saying. I believe what Floyd Schofield dad is saying. Like, yo, like, Floyd Schofield got Shakur Stevenson ready for his fights. At like 17, Floyd Schofield been sparring Shakur Stevenson. Floyd Schofield been sparring Gervonta. That makes sense, because I always thought, I was like, hey, who's this guy, right? Who does Shakur and Gervonta, who do they invite to their camps to spar with, right, in order to prepare them, right? I always thought, like, yo, who does Gervonta spar, right, in his camps, right? And who does Devin spar? And who does Shakur spar? Before we even knew about Floyd Schofield like that, before I was even hip on the Floyd Schofield, I wondered, hey, who are these guys bringing into their camps to make them better? And everything makes sense. Like, yo, Floyd Schofield, he's the one that's been getting Gervonta and Devin and Shakur. Floyd Schofield is the one that's like not talked about like that gets these guys in shape. And it all makes sense. It all makes sense. That's why I'm like, yo, like, if I'm putting money on it, I'm putting money on it, and I cannot wait for February 2nd. And Shakur Stevenson, hey, Shakur Stevenson, do not come in there and do that same Philly shell that you be doing, Shakur, because it's not going to work against Floyd Schofield. It's not going to work. And that's the video, guys. That's the video. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know. I cannot wait till the odds come out. I cannot wait till the odds come out for Floyd Schofield, Shakur Stevenson. Hopefully Shakur Stevenson's like negative 3,000. And hopefully the money I can make on Floyd Schofield is like plus 800. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully Shakur Stevenson is the huge favorite, right? Because I'm trying to get rich. Well, I'm not going to get rich, but if I put a good $1,000 down plus 800, boy. Well, that's the video, guys. We'll talk to you soon. Watch my videos because I'm a heavyweight boxer. Watch my videos of me boxing. I got my next match January 25th. I spar this Tuesday, right? Ooh. Support me. Like and subscribe if you like that I'm putting this boxing science. Boxing is science. And Floyd Schofield Sr., if you don't realize that he's the smartest MF in boxing, right? Floyd Schofield Sr., he be putting stuff out. Yeah, I'll be like, yo. He be putting stuff out and he be like, nah, I can't put out too much because I don't want to educate y'all. And Floyd Schofield, if you let him talk, I want to talk. That's what I'm saying. Like I think he's about to do an interview and I just want to go up. I want to go up and call, yo, Floyd Schofield Sr., I don't care about kid. Floyd Schofield Sr., answer my damn questions. Let me get some of that boxing knowledge, you know, because Floyd Schofield Sr., that man knows his damn boxing. So that's the video. Talk to you guys soon. Later.